stream this way. Unfortunately, OBS has been having my life as of recent, and I just can't use it. It's not the way that I really wanted to do a stream, but basically, it's just absolutely crazy. So let's yeah um, let's get on to the stream. Sorry, I just got sidetracked there by it said here GTA 6 trailer 2 drops a first look at the hyper realistic open world, and then that was that was it. Like, I was thinking that is a trip, but then I thought no, the hasn't dropped, so it's probably just some clickbaity video. But just for a second, it got me intrigued, and I thought had I actually missed something had the second trailer dropped. Anyway, welcome back to another stream. So I'm excited, man. I'm buzzed. For the most part, buzzed. Really buzzed. So I've been working on another track. Started it last night, believe it or not, only last night, and I'm a proper buzz, man. So I don't really know how to describe it, but essentially I've started to work on this track. So I got like inspiration off of a hardstyle track, kind of hardstyle, heavy, hard techno, little bit of both in the track, which is a remix of Where You Are by D Block and Stefan, I think it is, and they did this really belting remix, and I'd only heard their version, and then I actually heard and found the original, and then I found an a cappella, and then I thought maybe, just maybe, I could have a little play around. So I did about 11 o'clock last night, which lasted until about 2 a.m. Definitely a lot later than I originally planned. And then I started more work on it today, and I've kind of been doing loads of work, and I've built what I believe is one of the, or if not the best breakdown that I have ever made in a track, and I got the real, I got the vibe of it right. To me, I got the vibe of it right. So I used the D Block and Stefan as inspiration for my track. I wanted my track to kind of be really. The only way I can describe it is you really could hear their vocals, but there was some really, like, there's a lot going on in the track. So when you hear the breakdown of the track, there's like really nice pad sounds, bass sounds. There's all different kind of things going on, and basically I tried to sort of not recreate. I tried to recreate that, but not a copy. So I tried to kind of make my own version of that, but I wanted that similar vibe where it sounds really big. It sounds like you're just immersed in this journey, and there's all these sounds going on that just takes your mind into just the music, and you really hear the vocal just over the top, and it just builds and it builds, and it gets bigger and bigger, and more sounds come in, and then these little drum sounds come in, and then the chorus comes in, and then there's more kind of like sim sounds that get added, and I just wanted to do something where it had really become quite big, and then boom, it just hits you with that really fat lead. Now the lead, I'm going to be completely honest, the lead is mediocre at the moment. I need to work. I need to work on the lead a little bit more. I'm getting the right vibe of it, but it just needs to be a bit more heavier. It needs that. It needs more to it. So that's kind of what I need to do. And then the second drop, I need to work on that a bit more, because the breakdown is really big and full, and then the breakdown just sounds like it's half of that, and it doesn't pump as good yet. But I will get there. The breakdown is kind of where I'm focusing all my energies on at the moment. So this style of track is it's in sense supposed to be a bounce track, but it's supposed to be a bit harder. So it's a little bit of a harder bounce track. It's supposed to hit a little bit differently, but it's still something that you could potentially play in a bounce set. So the first drop is the harder drop. The second drop kind of goes back to your average normal donk drop. It just sounds a little flat at the moment. So we've got two breakdowns. The first breakdown is like a little mini breakdown that builds up into the first drop, which goes into a bit more of a reverse bass kind of style drop. And then the second drop is the big main drop, and it's got a verse, and then it goes back into the chorus, and everything kind of builds up. So I'm not totally done with it yet, but I'm really liking it so far. So what I've done with this track, and I'll show you in a minute, is I've started. So normally when I do bounce tracks, there's 16 bars of kicks, claps, hats, snares, sweep downs, sweep ups, etc. And then I would introduce what's called the intro bass, and that's just where you play the first bass note of the donk pattern, and it just creates that sort of like intro. So I normally do that, but with this one, I've gone straight to the breakdown after the first 16 bars. So this is a little bit of a different style track. So there's 16 bars of kicks, hi-hats, percussion, claps, crashes, and then it kind of like on the second 8 bars of the 16, there's like a little bit of a snare fill, and it kind of almost like it builds up a bit. There's a riser and a build up, and then it builds into like just this real big build, and it just goes doof, and then it just drops, and then we kind of have like our teaser breakdown, and then we build back up again, and then we go into our first drop, which the first drop is about 16 bars long, and then we go into the second breakdown, which is the long one. It's the main breakdown of the track, and then it's going to build back up. It builds back up. It goes into the sort of like traditional kind of bounce drop, but with the heavy lead there, which again, it sounds a bit flat at the moment. And then that's kind of as far as I've got in terms of the layout of the track. So I think it's going to more or less finish after that, because this breakdown is actually really long, in all fairness. So I think, you know, if we kind of just outro the track after that drop, it'll be really good. And all the main parts that have kind of been introduced into this track have been introduced, being sort of played in the track. So I think it's a good time to outro it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a quick little preview of the track, and then I'm going to break down some of the sounds for you. I'm just a bit curious of the time, because I've got to shoot off in like 10-15 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to play the whole thing. We're just going to do the last 8 bars of the first 16 into the drop, and then we're just going to go into the second breakdown and go through some of that, and then I'll sort of stop playing it, and we'll sort of go through some of the sounds. So let's go. Go. Here's the project. Just turn it down slightly. Bass comes in. This is the first drop, by the way. Here comes the heavy drop. T's in the lead. Run. Back to the chorus. And that is where that's the track. So I just did something. I think I knocked something by accident. All right, yeah. So for starters, that lead is actually, well, it's not too. It sounds like it's too loud, but it's actually not. So I want to actually just turn the kick up a bit. Ah, right, the bass. Right, where's the bass gone? Right, something's kind of happened to it. Why is it kind of gone all... Oh, I know what I've done. Right, I see what I've done. Bear with me. Right, so bass is actually on channel 9, and I've actually... Alright, so by accident I've knocked the bass to channel 12. That's why it went real flat, because it put the effects on of the pad, basically. Oh, bloody hell. Alright, we should be a bit better now. Right, what I want to briefly do is I want to see if I can clone the bass for the donk bass. Oh, bloody hell. Right, let me... Right, that's where I'm going wrong. Yeah, because I know what it is, it's hitting that's why. Right, let's just listen one last time. That sounds better now. One last time, because I've just turned a few things up. Mate, just basically basically cloning the bass has just helped it so much. And then once I get a sub bass under there, that'll beef it up, and then turning the kick up as well has really helped it as well. So quickly then, some of the sounds that I've used. So there's one sound that I've used in this track that I didn't think I would actually end up using, and basically it's a piano chord, and it's actually on one of the stock plugins called Flex, and it's called Staying Away, and it's from Essential Pianos. Now, it's not the best piano sound, I'll be completely truthful. And you know, like 9 times out of 10, I'd go and use something like the Korg M1 because it just has more, I think, natural, realistic sounds. This sound is a little bit flat, but in this track, and when it's played with the bass and the pads, it sounds really good, and the type of chords it is. So they sound like this. So yeah, you can tell they sound quite, you know, it's not the best piano. We've got a pad sound. Love that pad sound, I'm not gonna lie, it's wicked. And then we've got a bass sound. So the actual note, so you can tell it goes, so it goes from F, it goes to A, and then it goes to C. It doesn't actually go, it's meant to go to the lower C, but when you put it to the lower C, it sounds really low. So you move that one note up an octave, so it's still in the right key, it's just an octave higher, and it still actually works. If anything, I think it sounds better. So we've got that, and then we've got like sweep downs and stuff, and then we've got this little sound. Which I'm going to change it, I think. I might change the sound of it to some a bit more trancey sounding. And that's the little first like teaser drop. So, also we've got this. It's like a little white noise riser, and it just kind of helps the vocal come in. So it has a little like shh before the chorus starts singing. We've got a build up, so build up. So that sounds like that, and then we've got a little riser. So you know what risers kind of sound like. And then we've got our hard drop, so kick. Proper hard pounding kick. And then we have our reverse bass, which is out of the Spyro sample pack. Really hard hitting. And then we've got also a bit later on, we've got a like almost like a hard bass donk sound that goes over it, and then we kind of tease the lead. So coming into the second breakdown, we've got them chords again, we've got the pads. We've also something I forgot to mention in the first breakdown, we've got this, which is a high string that plays on the F chord. And then down here we also have this little hip hop sort of like drum loop, which is really good actually. I really like it. As a matter of fact, I love it. And then basically we also have this sound. So and that's almost like a bit more. It's like another pad sound, but it's if I click on it, I'll tell you what it's called. It is actually it's like a hardstyle chord sound, so it's like not the full lead, but it's like it's a chord kind of in the same sound as a lead, and it really gives it a heavy feel. It just feels like you can tell that you've kind of gone from the verse section to the chorus section. That's essentially what it is. And then that is ideally really it, but it just sounds so full and it sounds so good. So sorry for the quickness, but I'm gonna have to shoot. So I've got work unfortunately. So like, comment, share, and we'll see you soon. Right.